dedicated to southern and eastern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News at 5:30.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. For the third year in a row, a current or former U.S. president has taken the stage at the Prescription Drug Abuse and Heroin Summit to highlight the work fighting an issue that kills 70,000 Americans annually. President Trump and the First Lady both spoke today. WYMT's Will Puckett was there and joins us live from Atlanta. Will?
Yeah, Steve, it was an opportunity for the president to brag on his administration and some of the steps that they're taking in Washington to reduce that number that, like you said, was 70,000 Americans killed by opioid overdoses last year. Now, the president welcomed guests to the stage to speak about how the opioid crisis is affecting their lives. In a moment where we saw the president lend a kind hand on the shoulder of a Virginia State police officer who has been to this summit, whose own son was killed by a lethal dose of heroin and fentanyl. The president turned up his dedication to making sure drugs like the ones that killed that Virginia State police officer's son and the ones killing many Americans every day stop making their way across the border.
We are making great progress to stop fentanyl from coming into our communities as a result of my negotiations with President Xi of China, doing a very big trade deal. They've announced that next week they will implement new measures to prevent Chinese fentanyl, which is most of it, almost all fentanyl comes from China, from being shipped to the United States.
Steve, we can't stress how many times fentanyl especially was mentioned here today, and it's a huge topic that has been discussed here this year at the summit, and the president mentioned it multiple times. He also mentioned about needing renewed negotiations with Democrats on border security and immigration reform. Steve, however, he did say that much of the work being done in Washington is through bipartisan legislation. I'll have more at 6 and tonight at 11. For now, I'll send it back to you live in Atlanta. Will Puckett, WYMT Mountain News.
All right, Will, thank you. A crash in front of Paint Lick Elementary School in Garrett County landed a teacher behind bars this morning. Here is Belinda Vance. Police say she crashed in the school parking lot this morning. Court documents show she blew .198. That's more than twice the legal limit. They say she went into the school after the crash and was arrested. So far, no comment from the Garrett County School District. In Clay County, deputies arrested a man after he rode around on a lawnmower, allegedly under the influence. The sheriff's office arrested Brian Smith and charged him with DUI. Smith was arrested last night after deputies got a call about a man riding a lawnmower on the highway. When deputies arrived, they say they were able to tell that Smith was intoxicated. The Lockards Creek Fire Department identified Smith as a suspect in a burglary and vandalism of a truck at the fire department. The FBI is looking into a scam that cost a Kentucky school district more than $3 million. The Scott County superintendent says they started looking into it when a vendor told them they never received payment for an invoice that was 2 weeks old. As they investigated, they found they fell victim to a fraudulent email with fraudulent financial documents. It was supposed to pay a single invoice to a single vendor. School officials say nothing seemed fishy about it.
And it's another beautiful day here in the mountains. We've seen those beautiful blue skies and a few more clouds than we saw yesterday, but at least we still saw those warm temperatures. You'll notice on our UVA WISE camera a few of those clouds increasing really throughout the day, and those will increase even more as we head into those overnight hours. Much of the same story in our Stonecrest cam over into Prestonsburg. Just a few clouds there as well. You'll notice on satellite radar where those clouds are staying mainly to the north, kind of where that warm front is draped, but you'll notice those showers just out to our west about to make its way into Louisville. Those will be in our area by the time we get into the overnight hours. Temperatures into the upper 70s, lower 80s, so very warm day once again today, but we'll get back to near average as we head into the next couple of days. So tomorrow will be another warm one, those mid to upper 70s. We fall back down to actually right around average for this time of year, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but that's thanks to a cold front that'll be moving into the mountains. It looks like we warm back up quickly, though, as we head into your Monday. I'll have that full forecast coming up in just a little bit. Steve.
All right, Paige, thank you. An apparatus company in Corbin makes around 60 emergency vehicles a year, but they are one of very few in the country who do so without modern machinery. WYMT's Hannah Reynolds has more.
Fighting fires has been a part of Kevin Williams' life for years.
Got on in Lexington in '89 and retired in the first quarter 2010.
2 years later, while selling fire equipment, Williams and co-owner John Wise bought what they now call the hidden jewel of the mountains, fighting fires from the business side.
There's not a computer welding anything together out there.
They make everything by hand.
We build it all from here back. His whole body, everything about it.
And shop employees say they do not take the responsibilities of working for emergency vehicles lightly.
They're trusting us with their life. It's getting babies out of burning buildings. That gets to me. It really does. That's what we do, though. And that's why we do it.
Using that passion to handcraft emergency vehicles. In Corbin, Hannah Reynolds, WYMT Mountain News.
Southeast Apparatus began in 2012 in the building of what was formerly known as Wynn's Fire Equipment. A trial delay in a Clay County murder case. Jury selection was expected to begin this week for Angelina Grubb. Investigators say Grubb, along with Matthew Caldwell, conspired together to kill Jody Sevier in 2017. In the indictment, prosecutors say following the shooting, they robbed Sevier. Grubb faces a conspiracy charge. A new hearing date is set for May 6th. The best college football players in the nation are assembling in Nashville, Tennessee for tomorrow night's NFL draft. But before the big night begins, some of the players took some time to focus on others. WYMT's Willie Hope joins us live from Music City with more on that event. Willie?
Steve, it's been a beautiful day down here in Nashville. Tomorrow will be a little bit rainy, but nonetheless, it will be an emotional day for several young men, one of those, of course, being Josh Allen. Now, ahead of his big day, Allen and the rest of the draft prospects join local kids in Huddle Against Hunger to assemble food kits for children around Tennessee who qualify for hunger relief programs. It's something that Allen said he enjoyed doing and that he hopes he can do more of in the future.
I feel like once you get knowledge, you got to pass it on. And once you have wealth, you got to pass that on as well. So, I just want to, affect as many kids as I can with the opportunity I have right now. NFL puts you in the stage to where you can help out a lot of people. And this is the first charity event that I got to do, and maybe hopefully I get my own charity or help out a charity that needs help and make an impact on the future.
Now, Allen has a well-known story of growing up with a stutter, with a learning disability, and he was even bullied for that when he was younger. Well, now he's put in a position where he can help kids who may have been just like him and who are less well off than Allen will be in about 24 hours. I'll send it back to you, Steve. Live from Nashville, Willie Hope, WYMT Mountain Sports.
All right, Willie, thank you. Riders on a popular Dollywood roller coaster found themselves stuck Tuesday. The Fire Chase Express stopped working. Park officials say the safety sensor for the Fire Chaser tripped, causing the ride to stall. People on the ride were stranded about 20 minutes until being escorted off. Following some inspections, they reopened the ride. Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, lawmakers take aim at drug prices for diabetics. One recent study found the cost of insulin in the U.S. nearly doubled during a 5-year period.
And it's been another beautiful day across the mountains, but that does change as we head into your Thursday. Cold front will approach the mountains. Good news is we do have a nice weekend ahead. I'll have that full forecast coming up in just a few short minutes.
Working road construction is a dangerous job, but coming up, I'll tell you about a bill that takes place in a couple months that'll help all those that work along the roads.
When you see